Let's start with your story as a maker. So take me back to the beginning.
Okay, so my story as a maker is my mom was out of town and I had 3 kids and I was doing the ballet, the gymnastics, the soccer, but you can't talk to people and read at the same, at least I cannot talk to people and read at the same time. So I needed a hobby. So I went to our community college and learned how to knit. But the shop is 16 years old and I probably started knitting 20 years ago.
And do you feel like the seed was kind of planted early on in your childhood by someone?
Family of crafters. Yeah. I mean, I had needlepoint. I had done everything but knitting.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything but knitting. And I had perseverance. I was the dumbest person in my knit class. It took me 3 weeks to find a long tail cast on. I did not come naturally, but perseverance is my strength.
Oh, totally. Tell me about the transition from kind of maker to opening apple yarns.
So that was actually that was a lot easier than learning how to knit. I come from a family of retail. I grew up in retail. I worked for Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, lots of businesses that have closed at this point. And I've always loved retail. I've always loved small retail. I feel on my soapbox, I feel it is just a hugely important part of our economy. And so not only do I love to knit, I love retail. In all honesty, I used to do interior design and I didn't know who else would employ me. And again, I have always loved retail. I was the little kid at my grandparents' store thinking someday I'll save you. The store's name was Glenview. Don't worry, Glenview, I'll be here for you someday. So owning a retail was more of a dream than knitting, actually. I was just lucky enough to be able to combine 2 things I like.
Yeah. Do you feel like you developed like a thesis for your store, like what you wanted to provide people, or was like, what was kind of the theme?
The theme was hello, and we still use that theme. We still have giant signs in our store that say hello. So that theme was hello, everyone is welcome, and our job and want is to inspire and teach you. So that's still the same theme 16 years later.
Tell me about what's in your shop.
What's in our shop? Well, we have a lot of apple fiber studio, which is the yarn that we dye. Emma's, everything we brought here, actually. Emma's, Feederbrook, apple fiber studio. We also have a lot of basics. We're a shop that we have all price points in. It was actually one of the greatest compliments we've ever received. Like, oh, you have all price points. And we take a long time in curating that. We also have gifts, like in our booth here. We've got chocolates, we've got cream. We just like to be a happy place. I mean, that's kind of how we look at it.
And so you've been in business for
16 years.
And you've been in a few different locations. Tell me a little bit about how your business has evolved.
The first shop was in the cute location next to Starbucks, and that was great. And then we discovered that we were destination. So we moved to a larger studio, and that we were sandwiched between 2 auto dealerships. So not very sexy. We recently moved to an even unsexier location. We are in a business park with a cute brick and mortar in the front and then a warehouse in the back to handle our online and our dyeing.
Yeah. Is your storefront or your online bigger part of your business?
We're 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, we're 50-50, and we add subscriptions. So now our business is kind of threefold. Well, it's actually fourfold. We have a small wholesale, we have our subscriptions, we have our online, and we have our in-store. But we would never give up our brick and mortar. It's kind of what keeps us so excited, like coming to festivals. That's the happy spot.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Flock for you guys.
Well, it's been lots of fun. Because I do Facebook Lives, I've had people come up to me, and that's a little different. We have people who come up and they recognize other people on our lives, so that's been different. We've done lots of shows before, like we've done Stitches and Vogue Knitting Live. This is more personable. That's the biggest. I mean, yes, we're selling lots of yarn. Don't get me wrong. We're selling lots of yarn. This is way more personable.
You were telling me a little bit of a story earlier.
I know what you're talking about. So, we have a friend online, and his name is Omar, and he has been showing up since we started these, like COVID, like everyone else did. Our Facebook Live started during COVID, and Omar has been with us, and he doesn't knit. And we have guessed who Omar is for years. What I didn't realize until this show is that Omar has his own knitting fans. And so we've had people come up to me in the Apple Yarns booth, and we're pretty sure we're going to ask Omar's permission, of course, but we're going to make Omar stitch markers or something, because he's always saying hello. He does not knit, but he's always saying hello and asking about people. And even though I don't know Omar personally, he just feels so genuine. Yeah. But someone asked about him. They're like, "Who's Omar?"
No, the live. Weren't you saying you were doing?
Yeah. Oh, he shows up. Oh, yeah. Oh, he shows up on every live.
Every live.
Yeah, every live. So
Love that.
look for Omar. We also decided I should wear an Omar hat and see who shows up and recognizes that Omar is in our lives. But
We'll have to look and see if Omar's showing up.
we'll have to see if Omar shows up. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what are you excited about?
Gosh, there's so many things. We're going to be around for a while. That's probably the most exciting thing. We have a big subscription launch coming up in September, which I've been working on very hard. I just like the positive. You know what I'm excited about crochet. We were just in Europe for a wedding and their crochet was everywhere. And even though here I could have told you that crochet is building, I don't think we're prepared. There's so much crochet coming. So much crochet. We just did a cruise and a one-day cruise in Bellingham. We do lots of events, and I would say 40% of the people were crocheting, and that's a big number for us.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about crochet.
Crochet is actually bigger on the global scale.
Yeah.
Especially in like South America and then like different parts of Europe.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that in Japan, like huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, what we saw in Europe. It was surprised me.
Yeah. Did you go to any fun places in Europe like that were kind of fiber related?
We were there for a wedding, so it was mostly family related. But, I sneak into a yarn shop whenever I go into any yarn shop I'm offered to, but not a lot of time for it.
Where's the most exciting place you've traveled?
Can I say favorite instead?
Yeah.
I love Tofino, BC.
Really?
I love Tofino. And we're only 30 minutes below the border. So for us, Tofino is a happy place. So it's all exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tofino is one of my favorite spots.
Great. What are you reading right now?
These are good questions. I just finished a good book and I have no idea the name. I'm reading a business book. In all honesty, I read a lot of business books. I read a lot of business books. Listen to podcasts. Retail changes every single day. And so because retail is my first love, I try and stay really current. I try and help other yarn shops. They're all business related. I'm so boring.
No, that's not boring.
I listen to the Social Sales Girls. I listen to Launch Your Box. I listen to Stu McLaren. I listen to,
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking to a lot of business people.
Yeah, I listen to a lot.
So what other crafts do you do outside of knitting?
None.
No.
And that's because, I do other things, but I tried crocheting. As again, you guys, I'm a slow start. It took me 3 weeks to learn to cast on. So I'm a little bit of a slow start. And every time I started crocheting, but knitting is my comfort spot. Knitting is put my feet up, glass of wine and knit. That it is truly, someone asked me today, they wanted to open a yarn shop and they're like, but have you lost your love of knitting? No, I love to knit still. I truly, that is how I relax. And so I've tried crochet. I thought for sure I was going to be a very good weaver because I like color and texture. No, I knit.
How have you been able to kind of maintain finding that creative spark and passion for creating new things within your business or yourself and not losing that within kind of?
That's a good question. I think of it, instead of creating, I think of it as accomplishing challenges, which is one thing I have learned in the last few years. I am not the same person who opened Apple Yarns. Apple Yarns in the beginning, 16 years ago, was opening a cute store and loving on the community. We've always done that. We're very, very proud sponsors of knittedknockers.org. But now, because we have a really, really incredible team, I'm more I think a lot about vision of Apple Yarns. I crunch a lot of numbers. You have to understand those parts of the business too. So it's probably not the sexiest answer you would want, but it is what keeps us around.
And you said you'll be around for a really long time.
Just signed a 10-year lease.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think you'd like to expand more into, as Apple Yarns grows?
We'll grow subscriptions. It's just where retail's going in general. We're never going to lose our brick and mortar. We're not going to lose our online, but we all love that happy mail that comes to the house. And so, yeah, that's where we anticipate.
So tell me a little bit about the subscriptions.
The one that we're opening, the one we're launching in September is called Skill Building Box. And it's a combination of hand dyed yarn and a skill. So and we've been testing it for a year. So we're pretty secure in this. So it's project related. So 1 month we'll do a cabled hat. And then there's 2 videos live. One we film ahead of time so we can teach. And then the second one is social. So it is about a community within a community, all learning the same things. And one thing we don't talk about as much with it, the patterns are selected so that like when it comes holiday time, you can look back and go, "Ah, I have gifts to give out and I've already done them." So yeah, we're very excited about it.
So that's like a monthly subscription?
Mhm.
Okay. Where can people find you?
appleyarns.com, or we always tell our phone number because we're a website with a phone number and you might as well give us a call, 360-756-9992. I have a personal bug. I hate it when people have a website and there's no phone number. So we always say our phone number because we just want people to know they can reach out to us.
Absolutely. Be accessible.
Be accessible. Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to share with listeners today?
Sure. You didn't ask me about knitted knockers and I tried to drop it.
Okay. What is knitting
So
knockers?
knitted
I
kno-
do know what it is.
So we are the happy yarn shop that is behind the incredible founder, Barb Demarest. We have been sponsors since the very start, about 10 years ago. 15,000 hand knit and crochet breast prosthetics go out every month free. And we help as much as we can.
Yeah.
And I love knitted knockers.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
So how can people hear more about this? And
I'd go to knittedknockers.com or I'd contact us. We have all the information on our website too, but there's nothing like reading the testimonials, and now it's worldwide. So when we say 15,000 knockers, those are ones that have traveled through our mail or we know are going out. They're not the ones that you have knit for your sister or your friend, or that they're now knitting in Rwanda, or they're knitting in Haiti to learn how to fill lumps in the breast. So yeah, we love knitted knockers.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Bye.